Hey, what's up, everyone? We're coming back at it again today, trying to amp up your sales, trying to amp up your leadership, trying to help you grow your business. So let's talk about everybody's favorite subject in sales, cold calling. And everybody just loves cold calling, right? No, cold calling sucks. I've been a sales professional for 22 years now. And if you were looking to acquire my services and you told me that a portion of my job in the upwards of 30 to 40% or more would be cold calling, I'd tell you to kick rocks. But the fact is, there's some of you out there that have to do it. It has to be part of your day. It's part of what you do. And here's some reasons why you think cold calling sucks or you're not very good at it. All right. So the first reason why cold calling sucks is because you don't have a solid value proposition. The second reason why cold calling sucks is you're not good at it. And the third reason why cold calling sucks is because you don't do it enough. All right, so let's start at the first one because that's the easiest way to kind of change the second one, which is to make your cold call a lot better. When you cold call someone, a true cold call, they don't know who you are. They might be aware of your product and they have no clue initially whether or not they have a need for what you are offering. So how can you tailor make a value proposition in a very short period of time to grab their attention and then furthermore increase the conversation? Okay, so here's what you do. If you are going to call somebody, you've got about 10 to 15 seconds to lay out your value proposition, and that might be a bit much even. If you can tailor that thing to under 10 seconds, and if you can tailor your cold call to the particular client where your value proposition works, then you might be able to grab their interest. And understand this, might. I'm going to circle back to point 3 of why you're not good at it a little bit later, but you might grab their attention. So, what would a quality value proposition be? Well, it totally depends on the product and the clientele that you're reaching out to, but it's got to be something that is important and relevant to them. In our last conversation, I talked about how you have to have a better objective when walking into a call, a first sit down sales appointment with someone. The same thing has to occur when you're sitting in with a cold call, when you're getting ready to bump that cold call. It has to appeal to their objective. Far too often what we do as salespeople is we pitch our product. We are the best right off the bat. Sorry, that doesn't work for a clientele that's always tuning into their favorite radio station, WIIFM, What's in it for me. You've got to appeal to that, and you've got to appeal to it quickly. So for instance, when I was in the day labor staffing business and we sold day labor staffing, now, it wasn't perfect. By all means, you got some comments in here, kick me in the teeth on it, but I just wanted to grab their attention. Hey, I help clients save time and money with their staffing needs with a flexible, variable staffing model that can be on demand or permanent basis. So something short to this. Does that intrigue you? Does that interest you at all? That's the second part of the cold call. Once you pitch the value proposition that works and is unique for your product and for your client, then you have to ask a question. Is that something of interest to you? If they say yes, first off, you've won. High five, you're good to go. But you're not. If they say yes, that is something that I am interested in, then stop and go for the appointment. Stop and go for a sit down, a Zoom call, a Teams call, a face-to-face sit down appointment with that client. Because to have a truly effective sales call one-on-one with somebody is much more difficult over the phone. You're removing all of the body language, which we communicate about 80% through, to your client. So stop, don't pitch your product. Now, by all means, if they have some small questions that you can answer, do it, but be a little bit evasive in it and talk about how you want to tailor it to them. Like if they ask you, well, do you do this? You could say, well, yes, but we tailor it for each individual situation, and I need to understand more about your business to see if we're a fit for you. You notice that last part, see if it's a fit for you. You're flipping around and you're guarding your product. Your product is not for everybody, and it's flat out, it's most likely not, right? So you want to contain that a little bit with the client. Okay. The reason that you are not doing enough of these cold calls leads to another issue why you're not. So why you're not good at it, because your value proposition isn't very good. You try and talk too much on the phone. You're trying to do too much once you've got that hook in. The client's giving you a buying signal when they say, that does sound interesting, or can you tell me more about that? Stop, go for the appointment. The last reason why you're not good at cold calls, and listen, is because your expectations are super messed up when you walk into a cold call. The same way that your expectations are messed up when you walk into an appointment for the first time and you're trying to close the deal. When you try to marry the girl after the first date, right? Cold calling, you are going to lose at a record high rate. You wouldn't even be allowed to bat in the minor leagues with a major league batting average. It's going to be so low. What am I talking about? I'm talking about 1 in 10 if you're lucky. A 10% hit rate on cold calls is really, really high if you're lucky. That number is far more in the single digits from a percentage standpoint. Now, if you have a super, super dynamic product and you have a very defined what we call TAM, target addressable market, you might hit at a little better rate. But there's so much about cold calling where timing is so important. You have to catch the person at the right time. You have to catch them when they're not busy. You have to catch them when they're available to answer the phone. By the way, cold emailing is the worst thing in the world. Do not do it. You will get nowhere. Cold emailing sucks. Call, text, show up in person. Much, much better ways to cold call. And understand that brevity is your friend when you cold call. You're catching somebody off guard. They are knocking at your door at 6 o'clock at night. How nice are you to those people who walk up there? Have a really detailed value proposition statement, ask a question, move on. But understand this, you're going to lose. You're going to lose 85 out of 100. But those 100 are going to offer you opportunities for 15. If I could offer you 15 more sit-down appointments this month, every single one of you would sign up to do that. So pick up the phone, call your clients, but before you do that, have a dialed in, detail-oriented value proposition for your target addressable market, and be brief. Be brief. Lay out the value proposition, ask the question, is that something that interests you? They say no, thank you for your time, and you move on and you prep for the next one. And by the way, if you hit out of 15 out of 100 or 25 out of 100, you're doing really well, and tap yourself on the back that you're doing well. But understand this, the reason why your sales are dragging today are because of the cold calls that you didn't do 90 days ago. Now that's a subject for another time, but understand that it's the salesperson's fallacy. I'm having a great month and it's because of the work that I'm doing today. Bullshit. You're having a great month because of the work you did 3 months ago. You're having a bad month because of the work you didn't do 3 months ago. Pick up the phone, call your clients, get kicked in the teeth, and keep coming back for more. And if that sounds like something you can do, you can make it in sales. If that sounds dreadful to you, you're going to need a new profession. We'll talk soon.